Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the third International Women's Day talk series, Inspiring Women Leader in Technology. This is already our third session, so we're happy that we have a total of 12 sessions this year. And we hope that specifically by end of this session, you will be strongly motivated to finish your study because there are great career opportunities outside after Bangkit. And then you will understand what are the key elements needed for you to navigate your career as a fresh graduate in tech. Okay, here, before we start our session today, I just would like to address a little thing about your emails about the incorrect attendance rate. So sorry to keep you waiting. We're managing 90 class per day, so we're carefully investigating some possible cases, and we hope to come back to you when it's clear. So don't worry, we'll clear that out for you. Okay. So without further ado, I will call our presenter for today. The first one is Jessica Cecilia Budianto. You know her already from the opening. Hello, Jessica, are you there?
Hello.
Hi. And the second one, we have Fatma Janna. Sorry. She's our software engineer at Quinyx AI. Hello, Fatma. Hey. And then
Hello.
the third one is the girl next door. Some of you may have been thought already by her. She's Yuanita. Yuanita Intan Paramitasari. She's the CEO of Center for Environmental, Social, and Governance Studies. Hello,
Oh,
Yuanita. Belum bosen kan?
hello. Hello Jessica, hello Fatma, hello Kara.
Yay! So it's a four girl power today, and we really want to hear from each of you. But before that, just to get to know each of you better, I will ask Jessica to first introduce yourself to all the audience today. Please.
Hello everyone. I guess you already know me from the opening of Bangkit. I am a software engineer web platform from Tokopedia, or maybe some of you know it well with front end engineer. Yeah, that's it. I guess all I can say.
Okay. We know you from the opening already, but we want to know you more than that today, okay?
Okay.
And then we have Fatma. Fatma, please introduce yourself to others here.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Fatma Janna. You can simply call me Fatma. I am a software engineer at Quinyx. It is a company that works mostly on the workforce management, and it is powered by AI. I come from Serang, Banten, but I currently live in Jakarta. And I've just joined Quinyx the past 3 weeks. But before that, I was working at Altera. It is a B2B startup company in Indonesia that works mostly to provide digital billing services for people. And then what keeps me busy and motivated at work are the challenging things, the new things that I need to learn to solve problem and stuff. And I also like when I became the Bangkit participant last year because I could learn a lot of things about machine learning. And I also received a lot of learnings in terms of soft skills, which is really awesome.
Mm.
And what else? Oh yeah, one thing I love doing in tech is the part where I could solve problem with technology and
Mhm.
where I can learn everything new every day because technology advances rapidly. And then apart from work, I can also join IT community because there are a lot of communities out there that we can join so that we can know what are the current technologies that people use and also to get to know other people better and so that we can join and have a broader community. So yeah, I think that's all about me. Thank you very much.
For you who love to learn other things than technology, Fatma is the person to go because she speaks German, right? And then she's
Yes.
learning French and Japanese. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
multi-lingual as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fatma.
Thank
And
you
then
very
for
much.
the zillion time, I'm calling you Anita. Again, please
Hi.
introduce.
Okay. Hello, everyone. So, again, my name is Yuanita. So, I come from Surabaya. And yeah, so I'm working from home. Yeah. And what I love doing in tech is I love exploring new software, new tools, new technology. Yeah, because for me, life is learning process. So you can say like I am the tech explorer. And
I'm
then
sure.
or even like some of my friends also told me like you and you like Dora the Explorer.
It's for a good thing.
Yeah, but yeah, but I don't have any boots. Okay, so what the thing that make me keep busy and motivated at work? Yeah, because I want to make an impact. Yeah, especially I want to becoming one of the pioneers that a woman can excel at the technology and also management. So that's one of my strong motivation. That's why I always like strengthen myself. You can do it. You can like working in the startup and then also manage the human resources because someday probably I want to becoming one of the inspiration that existing in this world. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuanita. I'm sure you have a lot to say. And for some of you who know Yuan already, she has multiple community organizing experience. So if you want to learn about networking and how you can reach out to potentials out there in terms of reaching people, how to like introduce yourself, and how to make a meaningful connection with somebody you may want to reach for your career, she's the person to go. Okay. And for the first one, I think the first and foremost questions that every student want to know. Last year's we have 300 students, and some of them graduated with high distinction, and that's including you. How does that shape your career opportunities after Bangkit? May we start with Jessica first?
Okay. Anyway, I already feel bad because of you guys' introductions are really long and mine is like super short.
It's
Yeah, so I'm
okay.
like, wow.
Take time.
Okay. How Bangkit shaped my career opportunities? Uh, what I really like about Bangkit is that Bangkit is a intensive program, right? Like it's not just a one-time certification, and the certification is such a qualification proof. And even though right now I'm working as a software engineer, like it's it's a front end, not directly into data department. I my lead said that even though you're working in here, at least through Bangkit you already have basic knowledge to work either in data department or to collaborate with them. So you're qualified
Mhm.
enough.
So you get to use what you've learned in Bangkit, even though you're not exactly doing the data section, yeah?
Yes, exactly.
All right. What about Fatma?
Yes. Okay, so when I joined Bangkit, I was still working at Altera doing front end
Mhm.
stuff, developing a website, web application. And when I learned about machine learning, it opened up my horizon about how machine learning could be beneficial for a lot of people for different fields. It can be for technology, it can be for
Mhm.
insurance, it can be for economy, for social, and everything. And then when I joined Bangkit, I also learned a lot about the soft skills, which improved myself as a working software engineer. And somehow, after I graduated from Bangkit, it was like a powerful thing when I told people I graduated from Bangkit, where I learned about machine learning, even though my job is not directly about machine learning. And now I work in a new company that is based
Mhm.
in Sweden. It's an online work,
Mhm.
of course. I work at home, but the company is based in Sweden, where it is also powered by AI, artificial intelligence. And as a back-end software engineer, that I develop and help to build the backend architecture that provides the AI technology for people through the product that we offer. I think it can it can impact myself as well, because I know what is machine learning and I know what is AI, and I think it's really also helpful by becoming the Bangkit participant and also the graduate of Bangkit. So I think I'm really grateful for being a Bangkit graduate. So thank you very much, Bangkit.
Before I forget, Fatma,
Mhm.
one way to look at the current pandemic situation is that we can pretty much work anywhere for any company in the world, right? Like what you
Right.
said, you work for a
Yes.
Sweden-based company. Before I forgot, I
Yes.
want to ask, how did you come up to such job opportunity? And maybe
Okay.
Bangkit students can learn from you.
Yeah. As I mentioned before, I joined a lot of IT communities, and there are tons of them in Telegram. You can just search, for example, JavaScript Indonesia or Python Indonesia or Surabaya.py,
Hmm.
and also Golang Indonesia. A lot of communities that are available in Telegram, and you can just simply search them and join afterwards. And you can ask a lot of questions there. And because it is a place for people like software developers, machine learning engineers, and everyone that works in tech industry gather, and we have like online discussions and stuff. And also there are a lot of work opportunities that people offer, like maybe there are some people who need new hires, and then they are asking how can I get good hires, and then they can also join these communities, and then they can post the job advertisement in
Mhm.
the Telegram group, and we can just read and then see if it's like a good offer or not, and then after that we can apply. And it also applies to my experience with Quinyx. Like people also wondering how could you get a job that is based in Sweden, like it's international job, people come from all around the world. Like my meeting is at 3 p.m. here, but there it's still 10 a.m. Like people say good morning, but it's like good afternoon here, which is really interesting. And also it opens up a more experience and knowledge for
Mhm.
me as well. And that occurred because I joined a lot of Telegram communities, and from there I found the job information and I applied. Yeah.
So take it note, students. Telegram community.
Mhm.
Thank you, Fatma. We also want to hear from you, Yuanita. How has Bangkit shaped your career opportunities?
Okay, so how? Because in Bangkit, first of all, I was able to meet diverse participants, and then I could learn from them. I mean, because Bangkit from class 2020, they were from a several professions, and there were some of them are still students. Also, there are some of them already professional. I mean, working in that field. So I learn from them, and then again, I always apply three mantras, even for myself.
I
Yeah,
remember, I remember.
yeah.
The first one is stay confident. Number
Mm,
two, be
it's
visible.
visible.
Number three,
Keep
forget.
your spirit. Keep
Oh
your
yes, keep your
spirit.
spirit and don't give up in the middle. Oh my God, I remember all lines. Continue,
Yeah.
Anita.
Yes. Yes. And then Bangkit really, really helped me to shape a growth mindset inside me. I mean, that's one of the main key. If you want to be a successful person, if you want to be someone that embrace challenges, yeah. So because of that, also I is supported by Bangkit also provided us with some distinguished experts and distinguished instructors. Even as I remember, one of my favorite is Alexandra Soy. So she is also from a social background like me, but she's from economics. But now she's able to switch her career, becoming a software engineer, and
Mm.
that's one of my turning points. So actually everyone can do something, yeah, can do something that remarkable, as long as you are confident, as long as you are embrace the possibilities. I mean, as long as you always train your mindset to have a growth mindset.
Hmm.
So
I wanted to
yeah.
ask you, Anita, are you
Mhm.
still keeping in touch with those um, lectures or the figures that you look up to from last year's banquet until now?
Yes, some of them. I also follow them on LinkedIn, on Instagram. Sometimes when even even with Fatma and Jessica. So yeah, I always try myself to keep the networking with them because who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Yeah, because who knows? Like someday, yeah, we could having a
Collaborate,
collaboration.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's why.
Or maybe job opportunities. Like, if, oh,
Yes,
I need
yes.
someone from machine learning. Why don't I ask Yuanita, for example? Maybe her or her network are interested, for example, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
And that brings me to the second questions again to all of you. We can start again with Jessica. What are your most favorite learning elements from Bangkit and why?
As I said previously, that the way
Soft
it's
skills,
intensive,
right?
yeah, it's intensive. It makes me feel like as a student, I'm guided properly through Bangkit, and also Bangkit reminds us that education shouldn't just revolve around academic stuffs, right? Like Bangkit also have that soft skills lessons that not just that create balance with the academic skills, and it helps you not just to get into multinational company but also to survive in there.
Mm. Not just to get in, but also have the quality to how do you call to endure the challenges.
Yes,
That's what you
yes,
mean?
exactly.
All
Yeah.
right. So, what is your favorite part from the soft skills section, as you mentioned?
Hmm. My favorite one. I guess we share this with Yuanita.
Rapid learning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hanson Band
I
series.
believe that I. So if students want to know, in the end of this month, we will start learning the persuasive leader content.
Hmm.
It's by Ensign Ben. It's one of the highlights from last year. So stay tuned. All
I want
right.
to give the spoiler, but I don't know it's appropriate.
So what kind of spoiler? If it's assignment related, don't do.
uh,
What kind of
if,
spoiler?
if it's about leadership, just remember why be sexy.
Oh, why be sexy? Okay. You will understand why be sexy. If you're curious, make sure you don't miss the class. Okay, from end of March. Now, to Fatma again. What are the learning elements from Bangkit that you love the most and why?
I think I kind of agree with Jessica. I really love the rapid learning because from
Mm-hmm.
that I learned that I can learn everything as long as I believe that I can do it, as long as I have the good strategy in learning that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's all possible. There's nothing that is impossible. So if you believe that you can and you learn really well in that rapid learning, and when there is a chance to, this is the strategy. Would you like to try? Make sure that you try, make sure that you raise your hand and try, because you can feel it that it is possible to apply the rapid learning in learning everything, including machine learning, including learning the foreign language, everything. And apart from that, I think I also like the part where we learned about the coding simulation interview from the Google engineers, which it
Mm-hmm.
was really cool. Like it was the first time I knew that to become a Googler, to become a software engineer at Google, you will do this kind of stuff in the coding interview. And I think it was also the things that I learned to prepare for me to get a new
For your
job, even
interview.
though, yeah, the coding interview. Apart from that, of course, the machine learning studying was also really interesting, like because I learned everything about machine learning from scratch, from not
Mm-hmm.
knowing anything about machine learning to applying all the knowledge into a final project, which is also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And until I knew that, okay, machine learning is really powerful and it can be applied to anything, which
Mm-hmm.
makes me really understand why people keep on talking about this machine learning, like why it is everywhere, like why like data is very important, like machine learning is everything. Like, yeah, I think it opens a really broad mindset for me.
I see.
That's really
I take up your point about maybe we can rephrase it, the rapid learning essence, like teknologi apapun itu bisa dipelajari ya. Ya
yes,
nggak sih?
yes,
Any
yes,
kind of technology you can master it,
yes,
but it's nothing in instantaneous, right?
Of
You have
course,
you
there
have to have the process and the sacrifice.
yes, there will be the process as well. That it will take time, but don't worry. Usually, when you learn something new, it's kind of hard at the beginning because it is
Mhm.
something new and it is
Yeah,
normal. And
when
if
we
you like,
start, right?
yeah, and if you feel like I got stressed, it is too much, I don't know how to continue and stop, it's okay. Just take a break and relax. And when you feel like you're ready to learn again, continue. Do not stop there because you
Mm.
know that you have the goals. You can break down the goals that you want to learn, like which part that I want to master at this pace, at this time, for example, and then continue learning until you can get into that point or into that goals, and then make another goals so that you can have another learning path from that. So yeah, I think it's all doable. And
Mhm.
make sure you attend the repeat learning session, okay?
I really want to ask, but I really want to also hear from you, Anita.
Mhm.
What is your most favorite part of learning elements from last year, Yuanita?
If I could say like all of them, but what I want to emphasize here is the learning elements of the openness between the participants and also the instructors, even also from the Bangkit team itself. And then I want to elaborate one by one. So the openness between a participant to participant. So I think I ever told this story to the people in the classes. So when I have difficulties, yeah, I think I always like capture like my codes, like it's error, but like the time is running out. So I always like capture it and put it in the group. I think Fatma is was also one was also one of my good friend in Bangkit last year that sometimes like in the middle of the night, almost in the middle of the night, yeah, like Fatma help me, what's wrong with my code? Yeah,
But well,
and not just Fatma, but all of the participants. I mean, the culture, yeah, the sharing culture in Bangkit is really strong, yeah, especially the openness and then uh, the friendliness, yeah, and then
mhm,
even between the instructor, also the when instructor and also the speakers, yeah, they were not just teaching us about the technical things, but
mhm,
they were always, yeah, try to relate it with the impact. So how
mhm.
from after learning this technical thing, what
What will
impact
you
that,
get?
yes, what you can get, and then what kind of impact that can you implement by learning these technical things. That's it.
Mhm. Thank you, Yuanita. I see your point about in Bangkit, you find a community to share, to learn, and to have friends. It's simply to have friends to talk and to share to. It's quite important, no, these days, don't you think?
Yes,
Especially
yes.
we live in solitude, right? The past year.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, you should use this Bangkit as the community to learn and share, and no need to think like, oh my god, I think Fatma will not answer me. I think Jessica will not answer me if I ask question. Actually, they always answer me. Even like like the limit is like 11:59. Yeah, but I remember I ever sent like, my capture to Fatma. I think it's like around 9 or 10. Yeah, and then and then she helped me, and then she helped me
Mm,
because as long as it's really relevant, yeah, with the purpose why we are in Bangkit, so of course your friends
mm,
will help you, not just your friends. I think like now in Bangkit 2021, you have the Discord, right? Discord group that not just included
the
the
students, right?
participants, but also
Mm,
the instructors. So
mhm,
use that, yeah, use that media to digging more, to figuring out more what you can learn from them, from each other.
mm, mm. Thank you,
You're
Yuanita.
welcome.
To add what
I'm
Yonita
specifically
say.
sorry, sorry.
Sorry. Yes, I wanna add what Yonita said
Oh yeah, yeah,
previously.
sure, sure, sure.
That yes, Yonita's right. Sometimes when we're in Bangkit, maybe I don't know, but maybe we sometimes feel like we're competing with each other.
Yeah, yes.
Like
It wasn't.
yes,
It
instead
wasn't.
of I didn't, because I feel like this is not about who's the first winner, who's the second winner. This is like a learning platform that learning platform and a community that we should reach
Mm-hmm.
the target together. So
Mm-hmm.
since we start together, so let's end this together too.
I'm
That's all.
glad you say that. Our students really want to hear. Jessica, and the next question is actually for you. So
Okay.
I quoted your words from Antara News, right?
Mm.
So you mentioned many women think that IT work is only equal to writing code and building programs. In fact, you've experienced that other skills such as business, statistics, and design are also required. My question will be, why are both coding and non-coding skills are important for a software engineer? How do you find it in your role right now?
Okay, so there's a story behind that remark that I wrote actually.
Okay.
When I was asked to write that my story in that article, I also gave advice to my friend who's searching for job vacancy,
Mm-hmm.
because of this COVID pandemics. And she wanted to expand her career beyond her major. That's a
Mm-hmm.
problem. But she didn't know like what you can do in technology, how she can contribute in there. So in that moment, I realized, wow, what people think about IT is so nerdy, like writing codes. Yeah. So my friend said, isn't IT only about writing codes and sitting in front of computer for hours? And I said no, because you know what? Without great UI UX, product won't attract user, right? Like
Yes.
if it's just code, what who wanna use it? And only the developer who's able to use it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and also without great finance, how can you build your company in the first place? Not, it's not just survive, but how can you start it? Actually, that's what I think, and because that's it. Because we tend to forget that behind companies like Tokopedia, there are several, several people with different backgrounds working together. That's what we
So
tend to
even
forget.
in Tokopedia, not only those coming, not just the pure engineers, in
Yes.
especially maybe specifically in your role right now, not just
Yeah.
specific programmers, right?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, that's also a note to remember, yeah, to all of the students to hone their other skills than just coding, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you, Jessica. So now going to Fatma. Um, Fatma S1 and S2 was a petroleum engineering, yeah, in Malaysia and in Australia. Okay.
Yep.
And in fact, actually, this year, our 37% of students are like you without no IT background as well. So,
Mhm.
in your experience, was your non-IT formal education was ever a problem when you apply for your engineer job? And how did you manage to convince your employer about your skills?
Mhm. That was a really great question because my background is not a problem at all. In
Mm,
fact, it was an advantage for me. I think it's kind of like a privilege because studying engineering, meaning that we solve a lot of problems, we develop our logical thinking skills as well, and also because there are a lot of like mathematical derivation and stuff. Like
mm-hmm.
basically, coding is just a transformation from math into code. And if you love math, then it will be likely that you will be really good at coding as well because you learn a lot of logical thinking when you learn math. And in fact, machine learning itself, like the basic things are algorithm, like algebra, vector calculus, and stuff. Like it has a lot of things in math. That's why I think in Bangkit, at the beginning of Bangkit, we learn first like math for machine learning because that's the basic of machine learning.
I
And
see.
I think I'm really grateful because I graduated from an engineering background because by the time I decided to shift into technology, it was not that hard at all. It was a really
Mm-hmm.
smooth transition because after I finished my master degree and I came back to Indonesia, to Jakarta, and I was looking for jobs, I saw this opportunity to join coding bootcamp. It's called Altera Academy. And then by joining that program, I learned everything to become a full stack
Like
engineer,
from
to become
zero.
from zero, to become a full stack software engineer, to learn about back end, to learn about front end, how we can create a web application, how we can create uh, a web application that can be used in mobile version as well. So I learned everything from there. However, when I was in my bachelor degree as well, I did learn a little bit about coding. For example, there was this course that is called Introduction to Algorithm and Data Structure, and we learned about C++. And then also we learned about MATLAB. We use MATLAB to solve fruit flow in porous media. I think you don't know really much about this one, but at least in MATLAB, it's not really a programming language, but at least it has looping, it has if conditions, which somehow it also affects how I could develop my coding skills from there. But
Mhm.
I think the 3 months training was really helpful for me, because after that I joined Altera to work full time as a software engineer. And yeah, I think it was not a problem at all, but in fact it was a privilege. It was
Mhm.
an advantage for me, because I learned a lot about problem solving and critical thinking skills as well, how we can have something better in terms of discussion,
Mhm.
brainstorming. And you also asked that how do I convince my employer. So
Mhm.
because by that time, after I finished my master's degree, I joined the coding bootcamp, and all the graduates were directly hired by Altera. So actually, by the time I joined, there were 30 students, and then somehow, because the program was quite intensive and quite hard as well, uh, they needed to let go some of the students. So by the end of the program, it was only 17 graduates that could pass the coding bootcamp and then become the software engineer at Altera. So
Mhm.
yeah, all in all, my background is an advantage. It was not a problem at all. And after that, I could work full time at Altera for almost 2 years. And then after I found an opportunity to work at Quinyx, and then I moved to Quinyx. So yeah, I
So
think
what
for
you
all of
mentioned,
you who,
who
yes,
have the same background like you, like what I can take is you need to have the first problem solving skills as well as the basic math that actually it's learned in major sciences, right? Not only
yes,
from a programmer who studies. So,
yes,
and I hope that what you mentioned, Fatma, can be a sort of soothing message for for almost 40% of our students just like you. They have no IT background, but it shouldn't be a problem, right?
yes.
As you
It shouldn't
mentioned.
be a problem at all, because there are a lot of things that you can learn from the internet, and also you have your mentors, you have your facilitators. Make sure that you ask, even though you feel like, I think this is not like a big problem, I shouldn't ask. Just ask. There's no such thing as stupid question. If you feel like there's something that you need to ask, just ask. And also, one more thing that I would like you to notice, the difference between studying engineering and also IT, is that
Mhm.
in petroleum engineering, for example, when I learned about well deployment, like I cannot do it because it's a physical thing, and it involves a lot of companies to just build and deploy a well. However, if I
Mhm.
build my application, if I build my software and I want to deploy it, I can just do it myself from the internet, from my laptop, from my computer, which is like, it is something that I can realize, like I can make it a reality, like for example, I know there is this kind of problem and I want to solve it, and I just can design the answer, design the solution, and then I make it into reality by coding it or by programming. So
Mhm.
before we discuss that, maybe people think those people who work in IT are just about coding and programming, but it's not exactly true, because how do you code if you don't know how to solve the problem? Because actually, the whole thing about software engineering, the whole thing about IT is about solving problem, and problems come from anywhere. And if you know how to solve the problem, then you make the technology, like technology is the tool for you to make the solution into reality. So if you
Mhm.
know how to code, but you don't know how to solve problem, then it's not gonna work. because the real thing is for you to solve the problem.
No problems.
Yes,
Thank you, Fatma. So
you're
you
welcome.
bear with challenges, yeah, students. Survive and strive. All right, all right. Now to you, Anita. We already know that you are so energetic in teaching numerous classes, and you even said that my hobby is sharing, something like that. So our question will be, how does networking and sharing actually help you in your career? And how can students in Bangkit can find, maybe how can I find my future colleague? I want to make a startup after Bangkit, for example. Do you have any advice to our students who have this kind of vision? Considering that after Bangkit you make your own startup, right, with your friends from last batch as well.
Okay, thank you for the question, Ara. So, yeah, of course, networking and sharing culture, yeah, it's very important, especially if you wanna pursue career. I think in any kind of field, especially technology. So, I want to add what Fatma just said. That again, if you want to build something that can give an impact, or if you want to build something that can you can get a profit there or benefit from it. So it's not just about making a sophisticated or a very fancy architecture technology, but it's also about what kind of problem do you want to solve. And then how to see that is you should broaden your knowledge. And how could you get those broad knowledge is by socializing. And how can you having a good socialization, by making yourself confident, and then having trying to do some networking. So, like Ara just mentioned, that yes, I established my own startup with one of the alumni from the class 2020. So actually, this person, last year, yeah, actually we helped each other. So he's really good at programming, and then and I'm just good at organizing. Like like I'm a very organized person, and then I always kind of like an in time person. So I always like remember him. Hey, don't forget to submit your assignment. It's the deadline is near.
Like a living alarm, yeah.
Yes, yes, like I'm a timekeeper for him, and
Oh
then
yeah. Okay.
even if I had difficulties, I always ask him how should I solve this, and then he would give me a lot of resources, even some things that are not really relevant but actually can enhance my knowledge. So then because of that, we feel the openness of each other, and then we build the trust from each other, and then we have a deal to establish a business together. So yeah, even.
So how's the tips for students to find such a person like Iqbal for you, for them?
Okay, so actually, it's not just Iqbal. I mean, even like Fatma and Jessica, they
Mhm.
are also one of my good friends. Again, yeah, please have a growth mindset, not just towards yourself, but also towards others. So
That's
yeah,
true.
okay, from here, we can see that how impactful, yeah, the career development and soft skill curriculum. So yeah, do not miss your class, yeah.
That's from the teacher.
do not miss your class, yeah. So because again, so for example, if I have a fixed mindset, so probably I will have a thought about him. Okay, he's a lazy person, I don't want to be a friend with him. But actually he is not lazy, he's just not really motivated in that time. So that's why I was becoming his fun keeper, and then he was becoming like my personal tutor. So then like finally we were graduated together, and then now we are a business partner together. So yeah,
Great.
so
That's great. I
yes,
hope that
yeah.
many students in Bangkit this year will also find such everlasting network, which I think very important, right? Not only for supporting career, we always talk about career, work, job, but actually the true friendship. Isn't it nice to have like someone you can always depend on, like someone you can freely express yourself? Isn't it a gift already, right?
Yes, yes,
I'm,
yes. So
I'm
again,
happy. I'm happy for you and your current ventures with him. Thank you, Yuanita. Because
you're
now we
welcome.
have a guest already. She's our student. I'm gonna call her name. Ryan, are you there already?
Yes, I am.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Hey, so Ryan, please introduce yourself and tell us what's your question to each of our speakers today.
Okay. Hello, my name is Ryan from Bekasi. Currently studying in University of Brawijaya and now in cloud learning path in Bangkit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious about career opportunities. And please share with us how was your job search experience after Bangkit? Was it easy or challenging? And how we can improve our chance of getting a job after Bangkit? Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. That's a very straightforward question, like like number one and top of students' mind right now. Do you want to start first, Jessica?
Okay, okay. So to call it easy, not really. I guess there's no like shortcuts for everything, right? So but at least as I've said, maybe I've said it several times already, but what helps me in Bangkit to make it easier in applying to companies that the soft skill sessions like uh, how do you make a good CV, how do you present yourself in an interview, stuff like that. I guess maybe not doesn't it doesn't make your way to the company like much more easy, but like at least you help, right? That's what I see. And
Mm.
yes, and sorry, Ryan, what's the second question?
The second question is how we can improve our chance of getting a job after Bangkit.
Okay.
Improve our chance. Uh, okay, maybe this is kind of spamming, but I used to brute force like right. Oh man, I can get into this company. Okay, well I'm kind of desperate. I kind of need to apply to everywhere immediately. So I'm like applying to everywhere immediately, like and
You have
cross my
you
fingers.
have this phase of you applying to like many jobs. You d-
Yeah,
you went through
yeah,
that phase before
yes,
Tokopedia.
yes,
All right.
definitely. Because I applied to jobs like when I also did my final project. So
Mm.
yes, and since it's COVID, and since it's COVID era, I feel like I guess maybe this is kind of relatable to all of you. Like, do you feel like afraid not to get any jobs during these
Mhm.
times? That's what I felt too at that time. So that's why I get more nervous and I get this kind of feeling that what if I can't get any jobs once I graduate? That's what I
Mm.
feel, and that's how the brute force started.
The brute force.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that's kind of too tech thingy. It's how to explain it.
Oh,
Like,
I know,
yeah,
I know. Yeah. Okay, okay. All right. I read it somewhere.
okay,
I remember. Like you really have to have the force to do it, right? Like one thing that Jessica mentioned, she applied Bangkit when she applied for jobs since the final project phase, right? You
yes,
mentioned. So maybe that can be one of your options. If you're in the fourth year or you're almost graduate, Ryan, or other students, you can always try to be ahead so that you don't have to wait for that long after graduation to find one, probably. What about from Fatma? Thank you, Jessica.
Yes. Okay, so when I was joining Bangkit, I already had my job at Altera, but somehow because there were a lot of opportunities out there, they were like marvelous, like amazing opportunities. I was like, okay, maybe I can apply, maybe I can try. It's just to get the experience of applying jobs and also to
Mhm.
go to the interview and the coding interview as well. And then by the time before I graduated, there was this job career from Bangkit, and we got to know a lot of IT companies, a lot of companies that are available out there that we can apply. And then from that, I learned that there are actually a ton of opportunities as long as we would like to find, we would like to search one. And then I found out that apart from Caliber, because I think you guys are also taught by Caliber, right? Caliber is a really nice place for you to find a job. Like you just log in there and then have your profile and then apply for jobs that are available. Sometimes even without you apply, the potential employer can contact you and discuss with you for some job opportunities. And other than Caliber, you can also try to find a job in Tech in Asia. It's called Tech in Asia because there are a lot of jobs available there. You can just search for any kinds of jobs that you would like to apply, and then there will be a list of jobs that you can apply. And of course, you can just like have your profile up just once, just finish your profile and then apply like 1 2 3, and then you can somehow realize that I already applied like 50 companies, like maybe I just need to wait afterwards. All right. And then make sure that your profile on LinkedIn is also available and you are visible to other people. Like for example, you have your profile set up in LinkedIn, and then when there are some discussions from other people, just follow and then just reply, so the people know, oh, this is Ryan, like maybe they are interested, and then they will see, oh, this is the Bangkit graduate, this is really nice, maybe I can offer her a job. But maybe there is no potential employer that approach you, then you need to approach themselves first. Like there are some strategies that you can do to approach a potential employer. Maybe first you can try to discuss, like say, hey, I'm really interested with your company, and I can see that it impacts a lot of people and it is really beneficial for a lot of people. And I'm wondering if you have any vacancies or positions for me. I graduated from this university and I'm also a Bangkit graduate. Yeah, it is
machine learning, for example.
yeah, it is a training provided from Google, and I was one of the graduates, and I get this certificate. I believe that you will also go with the cloud certificate, right? And if you go with the cloud, there are also tons of opportunities because cloud engineers are really needed because
Very rare, right?
yes,
Like
and
it's
it is
highly
also rare.
needed, but
Yeah,
the number of cloud engineers available in the market is
yes.
very low. Am I right?
Yes, that's really true. And like for example, for myself, my title is a backend developer or backend engineer. Somehow, what I do is actually do a cloud thing as well. I somehow set the cloud infrastructure. I help with the coding for the cloud thing, something like that. Because I'm still new at Quinyx, so bear with me. And then yeah, there are a lot of things that you can try. And I believe what Jessica did, it also applies to me. Like if I see any opportunities that I can apply, I
You
just
just
apply.
do it.
Yeah, just do it. And also, if you feel like, okay, I just want to be a cloud engineer, so I just apply to the cloud position. No, it's not like that. If you feel like there are some other opportunities that like
Why not,
also
right?
like have an intersection or have a common knowledge in it, try also apply. For example, you have the common knowledge of programming. You also learned about Python. You also learned about Git versioning. And then why not try to apply for the backend position? Maybe the title is backend, but what you do is something about cloud as well, right? Who knows? And make sure to also read the description of the job. And if you feel like I don't qualify all the things here, that's fine. It doesn't matter. If you feel like, okay, I qualify one or two things from this job description, maybe I can apply. Just try to apply. Because in the job description, people are not like requiring all the things. Some things are like requirements, like the basic requirements that you need to have. Some other things are like extra things. Like for example, if you can participate in open source, if you develop also some open source, for example, that can be an extra thing. And for example, if you are active in the community and you have like present a thing like in a conference or something, that's an extra thing. But it's not that like the basic requirement. The basic requirement will be only like for you to solve problem, for you to be able to have the basic coding ability, for example, for you to be able to use Git versioning, for example, and that's enough. just for you to apply. And make sure to apply to a lot of opportunities because you don't know from which
Which one you
bucket
can
you'll
get
get
accepted
the
to?
job. Yes, yes. The more
Mm-hmm.
you apply, I think the more chance that you will have the job offer. And also, as I mentioned before, that I found the job, which is Quinyx from the Telegram group from the IT communities. You can also try to join these IT communities in Telegram. For example, maybe as a cloud engineer, you can join the cloud communities. I just joined the AWS communities from Indonesia, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
also try to join the Python Indonesia or Surabaya.py or Golang or any kind of community that you want to join. And then from
Mm-hmm.
there, you can learn that there are people who ask questions, there are people who answer questions, and there are also people who post their job advertisement in these kinds of Telegram group. And from there, you can also apply. So make sure that you
Right.
make your chances bigger by applying to a lot of jobs, by applying to a lot of opportunities, and also keep updating your profile, whether it is in on LinkedIn, on Caliber, or in Tech in Asia. Like maybe now you are a student, maybe now you are a Bangkit participant, but after a
Mm-hmm.
few months later, you become a graduate. You become a graduate of Bangkit. You become a graduate of your university, and then you need to update that. And then you also need to add some more achievements that you have after a few months, right? So make sure that anything that
It's updated,
there is
right?
any update from your life, just update it in your profile so that maybe people can be interested to know you better. Like for example, you just finish your certification and just publish it on LinkedIn. I think I see a lot of things from like Bangkit this year. I've just
They do,
finished this
they do.
thing from Bangkit. I just finished this coding thing. I've just finished this cloud studying from Bangkit and stuff. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's also a thing how you can promote yourself, how you can have your personal branding so that people know,
Thank
oh, this
you.
is Ryan. I think she's interested. I'm gonna prepare for her to graduate and then I will offer her a job afterwards. Maybe. So yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Why
Make sure
not?
you, yeah, make
Why
your
not?
chance bigger. Yeah,
Thank you, Fatma. Now
you're
it's
welcome.
Yuanita. Last one. Do you still remember the question?
Yeah, like the tips to apply job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I agree with everything that is just said by Fatma. It's yeah, that's overall that you have to do. But what I want to emphasize here is just one, jangan terlalu pede. Bener banget itu harus diaplikasikan saat kita mendaftar pekerjaan, daftar sebanyak-banyaknya sama last jangan terlalu terburu-buru. Make sure ya, after you see all the description that provided by the recruiters, and try to look for, I mean, search more information. Like me, because believe me, believe me, there are a lot of guidance, yeah, that actually already been provided by the companies itself, that can help you, yeah, to modify your resume and then to do, because after, if I'm not mistaken, so my experience, I have applied to, global company like Google, Amazon, Shell, Accenture, and with what is the other one? I think it's British Embassy. And then because before I applied, I always look more information from the internet. So I always got into the second stage. So the
Mm-hmm.
second stage is called as an online assessment, or you can say also like a focus group discussion. So yeah, so basically all of those global companies already provided all of the information, yeah, for the prospective candidate, how they should modify their resume, and how they should like deal with the online assessment about the technical issue and also the content. So yeah, I mean, you have to prepare yourself. Jadi kayak benar-benar nyiapin sebanyak-banyaknya. Jadi perusahaan kayak Google, Shell, Amazon itu mereka lengkap banget. Mereka bukan bahkan juga having their own YouTube channel ya, about their recruitment.
About hiring and recruitment process, yeah.
And then
Thank
yeah, and yeah, and the last thing in online assessment, it's not just about the technical exercise, yeah, but
qualifications,
also but also a culture fit. Culture fit. I mean, about are you really fit with the company's
culture.
vision, culture? I mean
Mm.
also the culture comprehensively.
Thank you, Yuanita. You gave us a perspective that such horizon of applying to global job is right there, right? So now we're moving. Thank you, Ryan, for your
Thank you
question.
all. Thank you
Bye
for giving an
bye.
answer. Bye.
Bye. So now it's we only have 5 more minutes, and I want you to answer this question from Slido in just 1 or 2 sentences, right? Because you guys love talking. It's in a good thing. Mas Yosa, please appear the questions. Okay, we will start with Jessica. 2 sentences, ya. How to overcome burned out? Capek banget ya, capek bener-bener letih gitu ya, belajar every day, 90 hours per week. How to overcome burden out from keeping up pace with learning and exam? Your case.
Mm, make sure you realize that you haven't worked too hard to achieve something. It's not good.
Can you please repeat? Sorry.
Make sure you. It's more like um, realization for yourself. Like, have you worked too hard for this thing or
Oh,
not?
you. Hmm.
Yes, because you don't you don't live for your exam, right?
Hmm.
You do exam, you learn for your life. That's what the
Hmm.
most important.
All right. So you see yourself in a longer term, yeah. You just don't live for an exam.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Remember
you.
your happiness the most.
I thought that you wanted to say something about playing video game that you like.
Um. Wow. That's gonna be a little bit promoting, I guess.
All right, all right. So for you guys who don't know, Jessica loves to cook and she also loves to play game. So amid of his working from home sessions behind her arwana every day, that's what she does. And I think each of us has hobby too, right, Jessica? Other
Yes.
than just learning, right? Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. And now to Fatma, what's your tips?
Yeah, if you feel like you
Two
are burnt
sentences.
out, just take a break. It's
It's
normal.
like,
It's okay. Just take a break and make sure you get all the good things for yourself. Like if you feel like you like cooking, just go cooking. If you feel like you love doing sports, just do sports. So anything that can make yourself happy, can make your energy comes back, and then after that you are happy and you are fully energized, that you can continue learning. And also make sure that it's not an excuse. So there is a difference between excuse and feeling burnout. So if you feel like it's really a burnout, then it's okay. Take a break and do anything that you
excuse.
love. Yeah, but make sure that it's not an excuse. If you say that I have a burnout, I don't want to continue, but then you realize I think it's just an excuse, then it's not a good thing.
All
Yeah,
right.
you
Jangan
need to
alasan
know.
ya.
Yeah, yeah, you need to know
Hmm.
your capacity. You need to know, and it's all based on yourself. You're the one who knows.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fatma. Last one from you, Anita.
Okay, probably for me, to overcome burnout, yes, that's correct that we should take a break, but also don't forget to limit your break time. Yeah, and then yeah, okay, and then the second one is how probably after you burn out and take a break, I think it will lead to the second problem. Like
Mm-hmm.
your motivation is also decreasing, right? So how to raise that motivation is by having imagination. Okay, just imagine, yeah, if you really can complete something that you have started from the start, yeah, what can you be able to do? So because you will never, yeah, future I mean like okay, to raise a motivation from something that you have started, probably because after taking break and then suddenly the burdensome coming, and then like I think I don't want to do it again. So actually try to imagine like what can you do after you finish it, what kind of opportunities, what kind of person you will be after you finish something that you have started it. That's it.
Okay. Okay. Have to see yourself, to project yourself in the future. Yeah. Thank you, girls. That's leaving me with my very last question. What if you ever had to go back as student? Like, kalau bisa jadi student lagi nih, what would you do differently? Jessica.
Um. I guess I won't do anything different from what I've done previously because I don't know. We never know, right? Like, what if I did it differently? I won't get in this place in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to sit here in front of you speaking like this. Maybe I won't get chance to do this, or even get a job in Tokopedia. Who knows, right?
Mm. So just take the goods and the bads from what you have right now. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, be
If they,
grateful for
if,
everything.
if the students are listening, yeah. So you
Yes,
wouldn't change anything because you believe the goods and the bads from today is important for your future today.
yes, exactly.
Great. Thank you, Jessica. What about Fatma?
Yes, I think if I could do it all over again and come back as a participant, I would love to have it like the offline one because at the beginning of
Offline.
2020, we had like a blended learning offline and
Mm-hmm.
online, but due to Corona, we continued online after we finished. But
Mm-hmm.
it didn't really affect because we still can continue learning. Somehow the offline experience was like something that I could never like a second chance. Like it was a rare opportunity. But
Mm-hmm.
one thing that maybe I could change if I had the chance to change, maybe I would like to do the assignment like to have it more on time. Like instead of do it before deadline, I think I would like to start like doing it like way before the deadline, like the group project and also the personal stuff, because maybe it was also because I had my full-time job and also the Bangkit program. I think there was like maybe an excuse or a reason why
That was done
I did
already that you
the
mentioned.
assignment, yeah, to the deadline, but at least I finished it and I submitted everything. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
maybe if I had a chance, I would like to do it like earlier, so that I think it life will be easier if I do it earlier.
Nggak
Yeah, instead
deadline.
of the deadline. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. What about
Mhm.
you, Anita?
Yeah, I also agree with Fatma. Yeah, I also had the same problem, not becoming a deadliner. But also the second one, I wish I could be more active in learning all of the knowledge that I got, not just from the instructors, not just from the mentors, but also from from my friends that they had shared in the group. So yeah,
Mm,
I mean, like if your friends share something in the group, don't just like
skip
slightly
it, yeah.
take a look at it. Yeah, jangan di skip, jangan di scroll. Try to like open it and then try to learn from it and then try to have discussion in that group. I think
Hmm.
that's more can give a more
Ada
powerful.
kadang-kadang apa yang Yuanita nggak tahu, teman Yuanita tahu, dan sebaliknya, right?
Right, right,
Right,
correct.
right. So you guys, it's a personal session for me as much as it is my professional job to do this. I really enjoy, seriously, girls, talking to you, and I really wish you the best in your future endeavors. And who knows, probably we'll meet again in person after COVID. Thank you very much, really from the heart.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
Thank
Jessica.
you.
Thank
Yes.
Bye
you.
Thank
bye.
you so much,
Bye
Ara.
bye.
Thank
Thank you
you.
all, Bangkit team. Thank you all, Bangkit members. Bye bye.
Thank
Fighting
you.
everyone.
Yeah. See ya. See ya.
Bye.
Stay
Yeah.
safe, stay healthy. Bye bye.